Imagine a lifelike digital version of yourself that can speak, present, maybe even engage with your audience. But it's not you, it's avatar you. Scary or exciting? Today, we're going to show you some cutting edge tools to create an AI video avatar. And you decide scary, exciting. Expert Connections starts now. Deepfakes were once a thing in the movies, but now with AI video avatars, that reality is here. But is it something to fear, like in those movies and TV shows? Or is it just another AI tool in our toolbox? Welcome to Expert Connections. I'm Julie Holton Smith. Let's get right to our expert today in our AI Connection segment, Scott Remington of Foster AI. Scott, something to fear or a super cool new tool that you're going to demo for us?
Oh, it's a great question. And I would say probably a little bit of both. But I would be more on this is going to be a really great tool that I think is going to help us do a lot of things that we might not have been able to do or take a long time in order to scale. So for, some quick examples, right? So if we have a long onboarding process that we know is kind of going to be the same over and over again, what a great way to have an AI avatar do it instead of, having somebody hired that might take 24 hours to 48 hours to keep going over and over again, right? Or even, multilingual, right? As we, keep, moving forward in our society, right? More and more people are speaking different languages. So our businesses need to be able to accommodate, and this tool can do just that. And speaking of that, I have a little special guest here that is going to show us very quickly how cool it can be to make an AI avatar and also what it sounds like. So if you give me a moment here, I'm just going to share the screen. And we're going to see my AI avatar that is going to be doing something special for us. So let's go ahead and take a quick look.
Hi there, I'm your Synthesia personal avatar. Did you know I speak many other languages? Por ejemplo, este soy yo hablando español. これは私が日本語で話しているところです。Je peux aussi parler français. Incroyable, n'est-ce pas? Ready to make your own video in any of 30 plus languages? Click the new video button to get started.
So
Wow,
right?
Scott, we say bien. I mean, you speak, how does it feel to hear yourself speaking those languages, assuming that you don't know all of those languages
Right. The first
fluently?
time I did that, it just, there's just certain moments, when we use these great tools and technologies where your mind is just blown. And that was one of them. I mean, just seeing myself, hearing it, my intonation, kind of how I speak, in different languages. And it sounds pretty good, I'd say, right? I mean, the ability to hear yourself in multiple languages and to be able to then, do work in different languages it's a game changer. I mean, I know it's a cliche, but what else can you say? I mean, using these tools are going to change the way we, do day-to-day business.
Yeah, and we'll get to some of that scary fear stuff because I want your thoughts on that, but we'll get to that later. I want to focus first on using these tools for good, kind of the power, the positive power that can come from AI. It's so cool to see this AI avatar version of you. I recently shared a video. So in one of our AI connection segments, we included some AI avatar conversations. And so I recently shared on my personal social media pages a side-by-side comparison showing me in real form like I am now. This is not AI version of me, but then I showed side by side with the AI version. And someone that I had recently had dinner with like that week couldn't tell the difference. In fact, he actually said that he thought the AI version was the real version, which, I mean, maybe that says something about me being a little too robotic. I don't know. But that's how realistic these avatars are. So show us, how did you create this
Yeah.
multilingual version of yourself?
I'd be more than happy to. It's using a great tool called Synthesia. I really enjoy using it. Now, as always, there's multiple tools, so you can always choose your own adventure. But I'm going to go ahead and share, and we're going to look kind of at how these tools work, and we're going to build one together. First, I'll show you how to actually build your own personal avatar and how simple it is, right? I mean, so when you log in here, you're going to see it looks kind of just like an everyday type of, type of system. You can, do your own new video, have an AI video assistant. You can actually import your own PowerPoint and put these AI avatars over them, which is really cool. And we're actually going to do that later. So if you wanted to create your own avatar, all you have to do is just go into either an AI video assistant, right? And this is the way, if we wanted to import our technology, this is one way to do it. The other way, we can go in here and we can go on to our new video, and you can see all the different types of different tools they have. So if you want to create a little training, you can do that, a new little product demo. And what's really cool, Julie, is all of these are pre-made avatars, right? And they're all AI speaking. So why don't
So
we
if you
jump
want to
in?
expand your team, Scott, at Foster AI, suddenly you have a whole team of presenters here.
Yep, that is exactly right. And it's funny you say that because I did just that. I'll show you really quickly one that I made just for my own business, right? And how easy it was. So you can see here, right, when we go into these, it looks just like a normal PowerPoint, right? You have, the play button here. And let me go real quick into the edit so you can see behind the scenes what these look like. So just give me a moment here. So it's going to load, and what will come up is literally looks like a PowerPoint, right? I mean, we can edit our text. We can actually create fade in and fade out. We have a script, which is really great. And then we can actually choose what our script wants to sound and what our script wants to read and look like. So example, all I do is I would type this in, and I'm going to press play, and you should be able to hear something in a second, right, on the script itself, which is really cool.
In today's fast-paced world, time is your most valuable asset. At Foster AI, we help small businesses, executives, and individuals reclaim their time using AI solutions tailored.
So how cool is that? And I don't know if you noticed, there's a movable GIF in the background. And when you click play, right, and you generate this person will actually talk. And it will look like a personalized AI going to you. And what's really neat
So
is that
after you've rendered the video, then you'll be able to see that. Gotcha. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. And what's really nice here is building out the script, right? So let's say, our workflow would be, going to a ChatGPT or Claude to build our video script, right? We can then copy and paste it in here, telling that GPT or Claude saying, hey, I'm going to do a script on my business. Can you please help me generate a script with an AI avatar, or you can have any voice you want, make it under 2 minutes and see what it comes out with. And that's kind of how I just did this. Very simple, right? Easy to go. And what's really great about this is there's a lot of different things you can put in behind the scenes. So you can have animated GIFs, as I mentioned. You can have, streamlining and different types of rotating numbers, which I'll show how it looks like, and even a virtual background that moves, right? So then we have all of this, and what does it go into? We put it together, and I'll show what it just looks like. And I think you'll be very impressed in kind of the final product.
In today's fast-paced world, time is your most valuable asset. At Foster AI, we help small businesses, executives, and individuals reclaim their time using AI solutions tailored to enhance productivity and efficiency.
So smooth,
personalized
Scott.
AI
I
Isn't
mean,
that
really,
unbelievable?
as a former, executive producer who worked in TV news, I've got the Emmys. We always talk, people always talk about that. This is smooth. This is not the digital clunky version that we saw even 6 months ago from some of these AI
Exactly.
tools. This is pretty smooth.
Isn't that incredible? And what's crazy too is, let's say you want to do different types of avatars, different types of languages. It's as simple as clicking a button, right? So if you want to change the gender, easy to do. And you just change the language, easy to do. So, as we think about how we scale some of these things to target different audiences, what a great way, to change our AI avatars. And as you saw, it's incredibly smooth to do. So a really cool use case here on how to use Synthesia, and something that I highly recommend people playing around with. So I want to really quickly show how to build personal avatar. Julie, can you see this all right?
I can see this, Scott, and I can't wait to see how these pieces come together to create the AI avatar version of Scott Remington.
Yeah, which is really cool. So right here on the left side of the screen, you can see the different types of options we have. So we want to click on avatars. And then what's really great is you get 3 personal avatars that you can build. So the one you saw earlier was me in the background of my room. You can actually do one in a studio, which is really cool. So upload green screen footage from a studio. You can do that and contact them. But let's just say we want to create our own personal based avatar. So what they'll do is they'll show you kind of this short video on how to create the personal professional looking avatar, which is really nice, give some tips and tricks. And then we'll click on next. And what's really great is you can either use your webcam, or let's say you're just walking in the park and you want to use that for a backdrop, you can use that too. So they'll ask you for a 1 to 5 minute video recorder from a camera or a smartphone, and this would be the background going forward in all of your presentations. Or if you want to record it yourself, you'll actually read a short script, and that's how it got it to sound like me. So we won't go through this whole thing, but I'll just show you kind of what it looks like. Because I think we're using my camera right now. So we might not be able to go through all of it, but basically what you do is you literally just read a script. It just says, hello, my name is Scott Remington. I'm going to read the next things. And what it'll go down and make you do is either, pause your lips for a second. It'll make you ask you to smile. It'll ask you to continue reading with emphasis or ask a question. And it only takes 3 minutes to do. So very quickly, it got my voice from that. So really cool. Just wanted to show a quick way of how to create your own avatar, because it's very, very cool. And of course, as we talk about, right, consent and ensuring that, this is you, they make you sign and verbally give permission to use your voice and likeness.
Scott, as always, it's going to be interesting to see when regulations eventually catch up to the technology, what safeguards that they are forced to put into play here, how you prove it's you or that you have permission. Right now it's based on consent and then sometimes manual review, but definitely something from a security aspect moving forward we'll be keeping an eye on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, so I want to talk about some of the downsides, the potential downsides of this. Scott, how easy is it? We saw the output of you. So I'm assuming you input some of your own video in order to generate that output. How easy is it to create something with someone else?
Yeah, so it's a great question. And I think it's going to depend on the vendor itself, right? So Synthesia is really strict upon generating your image, and you have to basically verbally agree that this is you. You have to read a secret code, and so on and so forth. But, let's say you're doing that for somebody else, right? They will personally review a lot of videos in order to ensure that there aren't, deep fakes going on, that there's not news reported that probably shouldn't be. Actually, at our little AI meetup, we had a couple weeks ago, I was going to be demonstrating the Synthesia tool, just generating news, but it flagged us to say that you can't use this platform to do that. So, these vendors are really smart. They understand the power behind these and how real they look like, whether it be, my virtual avatar or the person or AI avatar that you saw. So they're pretty strict. However, very important to understand, as more vendors come out, they might not all play nice in the sandbox, right? And would be a big concern. So one of the things that I tell my clients is, if they are in a sensitive industry, make sure you have some words that you can use, because just because it's me, saying something and you see me doesn't mean it's actually me. So example, like if you're in the financial industry, before any transaction, maybe have a secret code word like squirrel or something, right? Or even on your family phone call, if somebody calls you and it sounds like you, it's incredibly important that if it's saying, oh my gosh, Julie, I'm in jail. Can you please send me $5,000 immediately? It sounds like my voice. It's like, you verify that's that person by using a code or, something, a memory from the past, right? Because this is something, as you can see, we're just starting to get there, but the technology is already pretty incredible. Just imagine 6 months from now, a year from now, whereas, we get about, 10, 30 minutes a month with these plans. Because they are costly to make, but just imagine if it costs cents on the dollar, right? And how easy it's going to be, and when where we're going with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like we wouldn't be doing our job here on Expert Connections if we didn't also link to some tips about how to safely use these tools. So we'll go ahead and link now to that. So we don't have to get into the details on that now, Scott. So back to the fun aspect of this. How do you envision
Oh yeah.
using this moving forward?
Yeah, so to me, there's so many cool use cases here, and I always love a good use case. That's kind of what I pride my AI tool tips and tools on. So let me just go through a couple that I think right off the bat where I'm going to use it for. One of the, my background is in customer success and, onboarding, client support. And as I mentioned, onboarding, but think about, when you're going to a website, you need to find something, a knowledge base, right? And, you gotta look and search, and you probably don't find it. What if you had a video that you could create very simply to have your tips and tricks, or how do I fix this, tool, or, I have a refrigerator and it's broken. Hey, here's a video really quickly. Just imagine these different, AI avatars explaining us in a simple to use, simple to understand video. Not only that, in multiple languages. So I think you're going to be seeing a lot of corporations using these going forward as a great customer support and onboarding client method. That's kind of one. The second I see for is e-learning and educational content. So think about, all the different types of areas, whether it's geography or history, and, might not be able to get to something, during the class day. What if you could have a little AI avatar, help you along the way learn, if you're a child in school, right? So in your homework assignment, you can actually have that AI avatar instructing you on what the homework assignment is if you forgot and whatnot. So, really cool things that we can kind of expand our mind upon. I love to think of these tools as helping us scale and to do things we might not be able to do, or if we could do, take a long time to do them. So, marketing promotional videos is another great thing, right? As you saw for my business, it was a very simple and effective and quite frankly cheap tool that looked very professional in order to get the message out for me, right? That probably would have cost, $5,000, $10,000 to do. So there's just so many different areas that we can see expand here. And of course, the one that I showed to kick us off, that multilingual type of use case, right? I mean, what a powerful thing where we can understand each other, especially, makes our kind of work, global, right? As they say, right? Every day our world gets a little smaller. This is one of those tools to help do that.
Absolutely. I mean, so many use cases in business and also as you've been saying, the real world applications. Think of when those language barriers really create problems in life for people, new to a country, moving to a community, not having, a community that may not have the resources to have multiple languages. Just this morning, I also love that you touched on the educational component. Just this morning, working with my teenage stepson who has disabilities. And we're really advocating for him to get more comfortable using ChatGPT. And now imagine, it's one thing to read those words on the screen. One of the things I said to him, you've said on this show, Scott, which is write to ChatGPT as if you're talking to it.
Yes,
And imagine that you're talking to a person. Well, now imagine ChatGPT talking back in video avatar form. And now you
absolutely.
have that interaction, especially with a child with disabilities who has so much to gain from being able to have that conversation and learning in a way where you can ask those questions and get an exact answer back based on what you're asking. So
Yeah.
lots of really cool opportunities, especially with the video component. Scott, thanks so much for showing us this demo. Scott Remington of Foster AI. So great, as always, to have you on the show.
Always a pleasure, Julie. Thanks so much. And just remember, this is the real me now. So this is not my AI avatar. That is my secret word.
For more of the real Scott, we will link to all of his contact information below. You're going to want to check out the projects that Scott is working on over at Foster AI, and we'll see you over in the next video.